We actually want to go to Elise Haas, who is live regarding the Brian Boquist hearing that's going on today.
Yeah, this is Senator Brian Boquist. He made some statements to the Oregon legislature when the Republicans did their walkout not too long ago. This is what he said. He said, "Send bachelors and come heavily armed. I am not going to be a political prisoner in the state of Oregon. It's just that simple." Now, many of the senators and others in the legislature viewed that as a threat against Oregon State Police, who were told by Governor Kate Brown to round up those Republican senators and bring them back so they could vote on the climate change bill.
Yeah, they've been talking about this all morning as far as what disciplinary action to take, if any. Elise Haas attended the committee meeting at the Capitol, and she has a look at what happened.
According to a memo filed on June 25th, the outside legal counsel wrote that Senator Boquist's statements of "hell is coming to visit you personally" and "send bachelors and come heavily armed" constitute credible threats of violence to the Senate President and Oregon State Police.
In taking a step back and looking at the obligation of the branch to ensure that its employees, members of the branch, members of the public who walk through these doors every day are not going to be subjected to a workplace that is where they feel there are threats of violence or that is intimidating or unsafe.
The outside counsel recommended the Senate take steps to ensure there's no workplace harassment in the Capitol until the investigation into Boquist's comments are complete. Several times, Senator Randall Olson disagreed with the outside counsel's recommendations.
One could lay on a definition of hell brought down on you. Whether that rises to the occasion of a threat, I find it difficult to believe.
Senator Boquist also came before the stand for public testimony.
We are now formally in a court of law.
That's where he's announced several lawsuits he's filed against his colleagues, including the Oregon State Senate, Senate President Peter Courtney, and Governor Kate Brown. Senator Boquist did not take any questions from the committee, and we tried to talk to him as well.
Hey, Senator Boquist, would you be able to at least tell me what you're going to be filing with the motion for Marion County?
I've already filed last Friday, you can check. And they have a statement in there somewhere.
Senator Boquist supporting constituents filled the public hearing. Jamie Myers of Polk County was one of them in attendance. She told us she doesn't think his comments warranted a threat.
This is nothing more than a political hit job.
Now that lawsuits are filed, it will be up to a judge to decide. In Salem, Elise Haas, KOIN 6 News.